everybody, and welcome to the official Retroslice Gaming discussion where we decide what is the greatest PS1 game of all time. We have with us Adam Player 1.
Alright.
Liam, otherwise known as Retro Throwback.
Hello.
EMD 007.
Hi, I'm here.
Hello. Hi Scorsese. Retroider Gaming.
Hello.
And last but certainly not least, Mr. Retroslice himself, Retronuts UK.
Hey everybody, hope you're doing well.
All good, thank you. How are we all this evening? Or this morning, as it is in some people's cases.
Yeah, wherever you are.
Yeah, doing well. Thank you.
Good, good. So, as a bit of context, a few weeks ago, I asked the community to nominate their top 5 PS1 games of all time. We had 12 responses, 60 games, some duplicates. Of those 60, we had 43 individual games nominated, which you can see on screen now. I have made a tier maker list, and the plan is to go through and decide which one, where each game belongs in the tiers. We're going to do it alphabetically. We are going to look at this objectively. So there are some games in here that are iconic. They are considered classics, but we have to consider, are they better than other games? Just because it's iconic does not necessarily mean it is deserving of the top spot. So let's try and keep that in mind. Obviously, we're all going to have our own favourites and which ones we want to go with. But there are 43 of them. There's a lot of games here. We might run long. So if it gets to a point where we decide it's a solid cut-off point, we might end up stopping and coming back for part 2 at a later time. For those who are watching and listening at home, after the fact, you will know whether this is one long session and we come to a conclusion or not, because it will likely be labelled part 1 or part 2. So, any questions before we get started?
Oh, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, there is one rule, actually, that I forgot to mention. If we cannot decide whether a game is better than another game, I have the Metacritic scores for each. Well, every game that has a Metacritic score, I have them written down. So if we can't decide if, say, Tomb Raider 1 or Tomb Raider 2, because that is a nomination, is better than Tomb Raider 3, then we go by the Metacritic score. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, sounds
sounds a good idea.
It just
Sounds good.
helps saving us arguing back and forth about which game is the best of the two. There is also a few other things I should actually mention. Some of the games that were nominated, so the first one on the list, for example, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, that was just nominated as Alone in the Dark. But Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare is the only Alone in the Dark game that was released on PS1. So that is what I have gone for. There was a nomination for a trilogy of games, which obviously did not count because we can't nominate 3 games as one nomination. Fortunately, there was one game from that series nominated by somebody else. So that nomination counted as a second, the trilogy nomination rather, counted as a second nomination for the singular game that was already nominated, which I thought was the fairest way to do things.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So, shall we begin with Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare? What do we think? This is not one that I've played. I know that the Alone in the Dark series is... I mean, Resident Evil is is considered to be the series that popularized survival horror on the PS1, but I know Alone in the Dark came first. Well, the earlier Alone in the Dark games did to begin. In any case,
Yeah, this will be the fourth one, right? Like the fourth Alone in the Dark,
I believe it is the fourth Alone in the Dark game, but from what I could tell, it is also the only one that was released on PS1.
Okay.
I'm not so sure about that. Wasn't Alone in the Dark 2 released on PS1?
I could not find anything about that. You might be right. If someone wants to look that up, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
But-
it was called Jack. Wasn't it called Jack is Back? I think. I remember playing that on PS1. Unless
Well-
it was called the New Nightmare.
I think. Well, like I say, I'm not 100% sure on this. The trouble with free form text entry for nominations is you might not necessarily get the most accurate names for nominations.
Yeah, that's very true.
And that was 2 discs, if I'm not mistaken. They probably followed, Resident Evil 2 formula.
Yeah.
I did test it back in the day, but not sure if my copy was not working correctly. I didn't play it, so I really can't tell.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. Never played it. You're speaking new words to me on this game, so
All right.
I can't
Well-
comment on this.
Well, in that case, if nobody played it, we're going to have to go with the Metacritic score, which is 77. Which
Oh, yeah.
I would suggest we have if we have to use Metacritic scores, if it gets a 90 or above, it goes in S tier, 80 or above, A tier, 70 or above, B tier, and so on and so forth. Do we agree with that?
Critic or user score?
Metacritic score. I went with the review scores for everything.
Okay, review.
Because user scores can be unreliable. With review bombing and things like that. So,
Nostalgia.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's the formula, right? I mean, it would be between C and B for me because, I played, but just tested maybe. But yeah, I really can't tell. But I would put between B and C probably.
okay.
I know the formula is just like Resident Evil, so it's at least I enjoy it.
All right. I'm going to be generous and give it a B. I'll go. Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
So probably no one here was inputted this, right?
Yeah.
No, I've actually
No,
never
unfortunately, I
gotten
didn't
the
take
original
part
on
in
3DO.
the voting.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I've just noticed a small issue that might occur with the recording every time I click away from Discord to my internet browser. It says you are still streaming. So apologies for anyone who is watching this back as a video. You might see the video output from the Discord chat disappear momentarily until I click back to Discord. So sorry about that.
Oh, good. I just found that I was on push to talk mode the whole time.
Have you been saying? Have you been singing the virtues and
Little
praises
bit,
of
yeah.
Alone in the Dark?
No, actually, I've been saying I only ever played the original, the 3DO one. I never played this one.
Right. Fair enough. All right. Next game, Broken Sword. The first Broken Sword game. Again, this is not one that I played, so I'm not big on
I have played this one.
point and click adventure games. So what do you think?
Oh, this one, with Broken Sword, it is like a very early sort of it's 2D sort of cartoon style narration with a good voice actor in it, and the basis of the game is basically you are I can't remember. Actually, I never know. Is it Stobart? Thingy Stobart. Oh God, I can't remember his name. Is it George Stobart, the main character? And then basically, you're solving crimes that goes on around you. So you can basically click point. Like I said, you've got to sometimes combine items to get things open or retrieve things. And it's a game where you can be stuck in it for hours and hours and hours. And back then, you didn't have internet as we did now to find things, so you just had to figure it out yourself. And it was one of those rewarding games, but at the same time, very frustrating at the same time. But it's not everyone's cup of tea. It can be a bit of a slow game, and as you can see, level for weeks.
Yeah.
But the comedy value of the game is good as well. The voice acting is brilliant. I think I played the second one more than the first one, but I did remember playing the first one, and it was good.
Cool.
Yeah, same for me though. I've heard of it. I have heard of it. I've seen the odd sort of preview video. It doesn't look terrible by any means, but I've never played it.
Yeah, I just took a look, Google, and it's a point and click, so it's straight D for me.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay. That's.
Oh,
I don't think we can go for D.
Sorry, no, just kidding.
I think it's
Yeah,
got to get at least a C. It's a well done point and click. You know, definitely up there with like
No,
Discworld stuff like that.
Yeah, you said about getting frustrated and stuck. I really hate being stuck on this game. And I start to click everything. I start to click on
Combine
basically
everything you can in your inventory just to get past this level. Things
And I use
just to get into
yeah,
it. On the
and I
pants, lighter, that'll work. See, that'll work.
and I start to use the items. Just use every item just everywhere, and just when you can mix things, it's worse. And then you try to mix everything. Try to mix if matches.
Yeah. Well, if you did it on your own, like you actually figured it out. You do get a self of, oh yeah, I'm smart. I figured this out. Especially at that age when you were like,
Yeah,
you're
I go completely opposite. I go, okay, I can't do nothing. I'm dumb. Just
like I said, it's not for everyone.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
me with them type of games, it's usually like you think you're doing well, and then you're like, yeah, we'll just mix this with this, see what that does. You've set yourself on fire. You're now dead, and it's like, oh, okay, that didn't work. I need to remember not to do that.
All right.
It will take years for me to finish. Yeah.
So what do we think? Where's it going to go?
I think C.
Anyone care to raise that? Or lower
I
it?
think C is not too bad. I mean, this wasn't one of my games, by the way. I did play this. I do like
I didn't
it.
play this.
But it's
I
not
think at
everyone's
least
cup of tea.
It's fine.
a C.
But
Maybe-
I heard good things about Broken Sword, so yeah.
I like point and click adventure, so I'd give it a B, but at least a C.
Yeah, it's between B and C for me.
All right.
But we'll let obviously everyone else decide what they think, and then we'll go from there.
I think we have the indecision of between B and C, and the fact that Retroider immediately said it's a D.
No. I'm just kidding. You're just kidding. Just
All right. All right. Do we think B then? Because these are all none of these are bad games by any stretch of the imagination. That's why they're all nominated as people's top 5 games. So, do we think this would have scored in the 60s on Metacritic?
Yeah, I think it's got at least past the 60s. I can't see it below that.
All right.
Well, why don't we go like this? If it's not past the 60s, it goes down to C.
So that's yeah.
That's
so that's how I've been treating it. If we can't decide, then I'll have Metacritic scores. If it's 90 plus, it's S. If it's 80 plus, it's A. If it's 70 plus, B, and so on and so forth. So I think this. Oh, if I open up my Excel sheet with all of the numbers in, it's going to take focus away from the video content, which will be fun. Let me give it a try. Yeah. Broken Sword does not have a Metacritic score.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I told you.
I mean, let's be fair, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these games do not have Metacritic scores, and some of them you would expect to have them.
It is
So
forced
I'm-
to languish in obscurity.
Yeah, I am putting that down to the fact that it is old, and the internet was not a thing.
Yeah, sure.
So
Forgotten memory.
I think it was early 90s, very, very sure.
Yeah, I didn't really know too many people who had internet when that game came out, so
yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, kind of getting lost in the fray there.
all right. B or C?
I'm sticking with C.
Right. That's the most solid answer we've had, so that's what we're going with. Next up, and this is another one. The worst thing about seeing all these nominations is all of the games that I have not played.
Yeah,
So
same.
I feel like a bit of a fraud having grown up with my teenage years with the PS1 right
Same
now.
here. I've
So
not even played any of these games either.
so
You'd have to think as well, when
let's-
everyone was like PS1,
Yeah.
I was still on the SNES and the Amiga, so
yeah.
let's not waste time on this. You can put on S and move on because this game is perfect.
Buster
Just
Groove.
put on S. Yeah.
Buster Groove is perfect, is it? Let me just double check.
Sorry.
Let me just double check. This game is so perfect that it doesn't have a Metacritic score.
Yeah. I mean, because this is a dance game, so you didn't have a chance to input, because you're dancing. So you're too busy dancing, so no time for.
A lot of people
Metacritic.
back then have an actual dance mat or a decent looking dance mat.
yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't know. I never played this game.
but no. This game you don't
well.
use the dance math at
Oh,
all.
you just use the
it's
controller.
it's not Dance Revolution. No,
was gonna
it's a
say-
game.
Or just
I was gonna say it loses S to A just for not being DDR, but now that it doesn't use a dance mat, it goes down to B automatically at max.
I like
I mean,
it.
come on, it's a dance game. You have characters, you have history, you have power ups, you have an ending, you have unlockable characters. What else you want? It's just all there. Not dance math though.
I mean, so
Disco
my
suit, maybe?
my personal opinion on this, when you say what else do you want, is for it not to be a dancing game. So I think that kind of ruins
Yeah.
it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds too
I agree with you there.
But here's the thing: you can play the game without listening to the music. It's just like he shows the input there, and you just input the hit the correct input, and there's a little light that goes with the beat. So if you follow the light, or I mean, it's not if you don't even need to do this. You just show the input, you do it, and you just hit a circle or X on the beat, and then you need to follow the light. The light just keeping blipping with the beat. I mean, you can play the game without even listen to the music. So
I guess if you the dance game.
Yeah, you got like a moving staff with a visual metronome on it. You can just kind of follow the rhythm that way.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely can try, Chris. No music at all.
Mm.
Yeah, but they're still dancing. So music is fine. It's the dancing that I take issue with.
Well, you can cover the characters, so you just see the inputs. That's it. See the inputs, and it matches with the hidden with the lights. Just blipping. I mean, yeah, of course. This was my game. I put it there, but I remember I put 1 or 2. I don't think I remember now. But yeah, that's totally me. and I love this game. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's. I mean, no one's going to take that away from you.
No.
What I can't do though is give it an S because we do not have 50% of us saying yes to an S. I can give it an A if you're happy with that.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do my own tier maker then.
I mean,
Sorry.
that's fine. This is a community vote.
Taking his ball and going home.
Exactly. Not play anymore. You know.
That's
No,
it.
no,
You
no,
just stand
A-
at that empty goal and do nothing.
No. Okay, man. Let's move on. A is perfect. Fine.
A is
Thanks
fine.
for that.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're in A. The next one, I think this is
Oh.
going to be our first S, and I think it's going to be
No-brainer.
fairly unanimous. Castlevania
Yeah.
Symphony of the Night.
Absolutely. S.
It is
Yeah.
widely regarded to be the best of the Castlevania games. It is incredibly expensive, at least in the UK on the second-hand market. It's very sought
Japanese
after.
too. Yeah, Japanese.
Yeah.
Very expensive as well.
I
I got lucky. I bought a copy for like $35, a complete black label US copy, but it was like 10, 11 years ago. So it was still somewhat reasonable. But
nice.
yeah, I that's one of the ones too. Like whenever I go like to the collection values, that one's always one of the higher priced ones. That and Bloodlines.
Yeah, Blood 9 is fine. Yeah, and
Alright.
I
Actually, having
didn't play.
I actually have an embarrassing admission about this game. So when it had come out, you know, I was Team PlayStation back then. Like I got PlayStation 4, I got N64, but I was a little disappointed with some of the stuff because 3D was the new hot stuff, and I saw the two Castlevania games coming out. So the magazines were showing Castlevania 64 and Symphony of the Night. And me at my PlayStation, I'm like, oh man, we're getting the 2D one. What the hell? We got all this old stuff because back then, like the worst thing you could be is 2D. It was like illegal to be 2D back then. And then we learned that really quickly. That was a really bad way to look at it. But yeah, so I was sitting there all disappointed, and I didn't actually end up playing this one until like the GameCube era, and then being like, oh man, I was an idiot.
We've all made those mistakes, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah,
True.
and I
Yep.
didn't play this game. I'm totally guilty, and I need to play it as soon as possible. But I know it's great.
Yeah, totally same page for me.
Yeah.
Same
So-
as well.
I think we're all in agreement then. S tier?
S.
Yeah,
S.
Most definitely.
Boom. S tier, the first one. Now, whether it stays at the front of that SQ is another matter. Right. Next up, we have one that I think might be a little bit of a niche choice. It might not appeal to everybody. It's Colin McRae Rally.
I don't mind a bit of Colin McRae.
That's a good game. Definitely one of the
Yeah.
early 3D rally racers.
Yeah, this game was actually like Colin McRae basically said, if you don't make this game good, I'm not putting my name on it. They got Codemasters to do it, and they made it probably one of the best rally games ever.
But there
And
are
actually had his voice in the game as well.
a few Codemasters racing games on this list.
I
So
don't think I ever played it on the PlayStation, actually. I played it on PC, possibly. A Colin McRae version, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Definitely
yeah,
wasn't
probably
PlayStation.
me too. Me too. Yeah.
But yeah, I was full on PlayStation this came out. I think I played the actual demo disc more times than I actually played the game because I was because back then I didn't have as much money as to get the games. But then, and yeah, the demo was just play it over and over, same level, same car, and yeah. And then we actually got the game. I think one of those memorable things I remember was you did the training course, and if you started messing around, Colin McRae would tell you to stop messing around. And
With the proper accent.
yeah, stop messing around.
Yeah, I think it's a great game. It's a good game. It's a B. I'd put a B overall, but for racing fans, that would be like an A, I think.
Yeah.
And then for
Yeah,
really fans of racing games, but at least a B, I would put it surely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
People do hold it
I'd say an
really
A.
well.
I would give it an A. I think it's one of the early racing games to actually, or rally racing games to actually get it right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for that reason alone, like it's the like you say, it's one of the first ones that truly nailed rally racing. So I think an A is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, influential, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely influential, and there it goes.
Yep.
It is in the A.
Yeah, deserve it. Yeah.
Now, next we have this one blew me away when I first played it. I'd never played anything like it because I didn't play a lot of PC games back in my youth, and that's Colony Wars, 3D space combat game.
Never played it.
I
Never
think
played.
I played.
I have
This
it and
on-
have yet to play it. I bought it more recently in a claim sale, but I have yet to actually try it out.
Let me check if this was on Dreamcast. Apparently, I played on Dreamcast. Maybe, not sure.
Let's have a look.
No Dreamcast. Yeah, I played a game similar, but yeah, didn't play this one on PS1. No.
I think I might actually have this as a long box. I gotta go check.
Ah, yes, you got those long boxes in the US that we never got over here.
Nice.
Yeah, those things were cool.
Colony Wars, it was, I mean, so we've spoken about this on the Discord a few times. I mean, the fact that it was developed by Psygnosis, so that's got to give it something, right? The legendary British development team, tragically cut short by Sony when they renamed it Studio Liverpool.
You know, you're singing my hymn sheet there. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, I just found it. No, not a long box. This is a double case, like Final Fantasy VII or something like that. Would have come
Right,
in.
yeah.
Really up to you.
I'm
Really
leaning
up to you.
towards S on this. It has a Metacritic score of 91, which would put it in that S tier.
Oh, I need to try this.
Oh, wow, okay. That's a big score.
Yeah.
So
Everything seems to be telling me I have this gem in my house that I've just been neglecting. That I need to get on.
You really should play it. You really should play it.
And I've never heard of it, never played it, but as soon as you said, you know, I struggle to say that. Psygnosis, is it?
Psygnosis. That's how I've pronounced it.
Shocking admission for an Amiga fan. But yeah, I love their work, you know. I can name how many titles that were released on the Amiga, so it's definitely got my attention if it's by them.
It's definitely worth a play. The next question, if it's going in S tier, is it better than Castlevania Symphony of the Night? And
what do you think?
I mean, so I'm in an awkward position because I never played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So we've got me, who's played Colony Wars, and no one else seems to have, and all of you guys who've played Castlevania, but not Colony Wars.
Yeah, I mean, Colony Wars, in your opinion, was that influential like Castlevania?
For a console 3D space combat game, I would say yes, but for the wider gaming space, I would say no. I think the best option that we have is to go with Metacritic scores. As we've already mentioned, Colony Wars has a 91. Castlevania has 93.
Oh, yeah.
So, if we are not at a consensus ourselves, I'm happy to go with that.
I think that's fair because a lot of us, like I said, haven't played both games to have a major opinion. So,
yeah,
cool.
But it's by a great software developer, so I'm happy with that.
Absolutely fantastic software developer.
This game is probably better played with, like helicopter controller. I don't know how to say, I mean,
like a flight stick.
A flight stick, yeah. But I believe the only one available, at least from Sony, It's the one that you had 2 flight sticks, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Not sure if this
I-
is compatible or something, or
I don't know how
playable.
many flight sticks were available for the PS1.
And not a singular like the Saturn, for Space Harrier, Space Harrier, you have a single one. I'm not sure you have a single flight stick. I know you have the double one for like really play simulators, flight simulators, something more. I mean, complicated stuff, controls and stuff. But
Yeah, that and, like mech
I'll
combat
definitely give
game.
it a try. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a try. Colony Wars, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Okay.
So moving on, and actually, I think I know who nominated this one as well. Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Not
Gotta
me.
sit this one out. I don't do real time strategy.
So
It'd be like Retroider with the point and click games.
Yeah, for me, I confess, strategy games, any games that you need to be intelligent, not for me. You need to use your brains. No go for me, especially back in the day. But everywhere, magazines, websites, they always mention Red Alert. Always, I
So
always heard about this game.
Yeah, I think S.
You think what? Sorry.
I think it should be an S, right to the top.
Yep, probably, yeah.
Well,
No, I'm joking. That's just because I voted for it.
I mean, yeah, I figured that was your vote because I know you're a big fan of Red Alert. I love Command and Conquer Alert, but I prefer the PC version. I think it plays much better on PC than it does on PS1.
You're right there. You're definitely right with that one. And it's just, I'm not into every type of game like that, but that one definitely got my attention. I do like those type of games, even though I know they can be sort of, quite long-winded and the hours just seem to go by. But no, it's definitely got my vote. This one, I think it was a good one.
Yeah, I think I only played a bit of it. I think I played it wrong back in the day, but I enjoyed it. I think the story was good, but if you were playing like just full on, just where you just sort of build your bases and then you get attacked and you got to defend and you got to find such destroy. I think I was crapping them back then, but I thought the game was good. I thought it did play very well. It did get my attention straight away. But I think I was a bit too young at the time for it. But I did actually enjoy what I played.
Was this Red Alert after or before StarCraft?
Before, I think. I think it was. So let's have a look. I've got the Wikipedia page open. 1996 was when it released on PC, and 1997 was when it released on PS1. Red Alert was not the first Command and Conquer game, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think StarCraft is from '98, probably.
Yeah, I think StarCraft is later.
Yeah, StarCraft came after.
Wow, so definitely influenced, right?
Absolutely influential.
Yeah.
Yeah, this and like Warcraft 2 were like kind of like staples of the genre at the time.
Yeah, true. I never played that.
Yeah, I mean, Warcraft were more, medieval stuff, right? Red Alert maybe was the most, like modern or futuristic something.
Yeah, and then like shortly after these two, Age of Empires kind of became like, really big as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And Rise of Nations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, the Command and Conquer series was definitely a trailblazer for real-time strategy games. So
I say it needs points just for its FMV sequences.
It does. Do we want to differentiate this from the PC version? It does. Only the PC version has a Metacritic score.
Okay.
But you actually played the PS1 version, Chris?
I did play the PS1 version, yes.
So you
Yeah, I've
think
got
it's not? Okay. Yeah, it's
I
fair
don't have
for
a
me.
PS1, but I have that game.
I think it's fair for me if you decide to be A because it's not that really good as it's on a PC. For me, it's fine.
So
Yeah, I agree.
just to throw it out there, and I don't want to keep going back to this to have it influence our decisions. Game rankings give the PC version 91%. So 91 has a score. The PS1 version is 81%.
It was better on PC.
And we are discussing best PS1 games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot of these games, a lot of these examples, right? We have a lot of these games that were just ported from PC, PS1, and okay, no, not that good port, especially on control side. Yeah, so
True.
we have a lot of examples like that. So Red Alert probably just fits in.
I want to put this as a high A.
So ahead of
Ahead of Buster Groove.
Oh man.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, okay. I will make my list anyway.
All right, high A for Command and Conquer Red Alert. Now,
Yeah, definitely. That I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, sure.
now we have the
Yeah.
So it's out there now.
Yeah,
Axel.
actually, I'm one of the guys. Just spend more time reading about games than playing. Right. So definitely,
Right.
Red Alert is a better game. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
So, moving on, we have the first of two complete trilogies that have made it to the list. Crash Bandicoot.
Way.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah, totally.
so this is what
Not for me.
this is what I was referring to before when I was talking about iconic games. Just because it's iconic, we have to look at it. Is it like Crash Bandicoot was iconic, but were there better games? No,
I think it belongs in the S tier, even if it's not the first in the
it's
S tier.
definitely up there. Do we
I
think
think there
all?
were
Do we
better
think?
games, but-
Do we think all three Crash Bandicoot games are S tier?
I do.
They're all pretty much the same, aren't they? Really, it's the same
They,
premises.
they add some extra features each game. Like 2 adds like the high jump and the slide move.
Which
Yeah.
I would argue would make it better than Crash Bandicoot 1.
I could see that. Yeah.
I have an argument. Not sure if you guys agree. So I got these games now collecting right for retro on Japanese. They have some difference, but that's not it. So have you any of you guys tried to play Crash and complete 100%? Get all the relics and stuff, all the extra stuff. I mean,
I
did anyone try?
I did it for 3, and I did it for 1.
Yeah, I mean, the save system on 1, it's horrible. I mean, it's
Yeah, it was.
frustrating. Not if you guys are aware of it. When you trying to get all the extra stuff, and then you move on to the next stage, it doesn't save. There's no save option. You really have to play a bonus stage in order for all your progress to save. Am I right, Scorsese? Something
I
like
forgot
that.
exactly what it
bad
was. I thought you
memories.
had to like play like a boss stage or something like that. Like
Yeah.
you like some
No,
noteworthy stage.
No, not even a boss stage, man. It's really specific stage, like a bonus. That one that you go, that girl, that
The
female
little platform, yeah.
Crash. Yeah, that's for me. It's terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
terrible
Oh yeah,
The-
that's
and really
that's
frustrating.
ridiculous.
The first Crash game has not aged well at all.
Yeah,
See, I
yeah.
disagree. I still have a lot of fun with it because I think it's got really good
No.
levels.
I mean, the next ones really improved, I believe, overall. So, I mean, for me personally, by experience. I play them all. But really, 2 and 3 improved a lot. I mean, significantly.
I would agree with that.
So for me,
I
so
prefer
I
2 over 1.
yes,
I mean,
for
I'd
yeah.
say yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'd say for me, like I still think one's a great game and still a lot of fun, but I'd say probably like 2, 3, 1 would be my order with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we weren't disputing it weren't a good game. It's just we had to compare out the three, so we're
Yeah.
seeing which one's better out of the three of them.
Yeah. No, I don't
Yeah,
expect
two-
anyone to think any of these games are bad.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think the discussion here would be S or A, so definitely not bad, right?
Yeah.
By influential, yeah, it's a greatest platform. It's tried to be a mascot for Sony, right? For maybe at the beginning.
I mean,
But
it still is. It's still like
yes,
you think of PlayStation, you think of Crash Bandicoot,
right,
which is
Because
which is why I was talking about iconic games. Just because a game is
Yes.
iconic, we can't let that cloud whether we think it's a truly
yeah.
S tier
I
game.
mean, yes, and if let's say a game follow every step that Crash 1 did, I would still find it horrible because the thing about saving, it's really frustrating for me. I really have to take a guide on there, and I really if you try to do 100%, you really have to make sure you do it right, or you it's very easy to lose your progress there. So I mean, for me personally, 2 and 3 are better. So personally, I can't put S on them because I think 2 and 3 maybe deserve it. Other
I'm
than
I'm in agreement with that. I would say 2 and 3 are S, 1 is A, purely because of the improvements that
yes.
2 and 3 made.
I feel like they should all be S, but 1 should be the last in the row of S, because 1 was also kind of a model for like a different form of 3D platformer that wasn't
Yeah.
really seen at the time, and also it was on a technical level it really pushed the PS1. If you've like ever read anything about the development story of it, the developers like Naughty Dog went kind of like out of the way to like circumvent how they wanted you to develop. They did a lot of things in kind of like raw assembly there, and we're kind of able to push a lot more than pretty much anyone else was at the time. It got to the point also where like Sony was like almost a little mad at them for like going that route, and then they saw what came out and they're like, "Oh, okay, no, this is fine."
Good arguments.
I think, yeah, okay. From a technical point of view,
It was
would
the start of something.
yeah. I think, yeah, from a technical point of view, then Crash Bandicoot the first one should probably be an S, but be at the bottom of the S tier.
Yeah.
The question is then, which is better, 2 or 3?
I think 2.
I'm trying to think now. I do. It is a hard one, though.
Yeah, I have more memories of 3 actually, so I'm not sure yet because I still need to replay them. I want to collect them, but I mean, I would put Crash 1 as A and maybe 2 and 3 as S, or maybe 3 as S. That's my choice.
I
I like
think.
A2. Only because I didn't play 3, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think all S, to be honest, myself. And if I have to decide between 2 and 3, what's better? I played 2 more definitely, so that shows something. So I would say 2, 3, 1.
2, 3, 1.
I agree. 2, 3, 1.
I think that's the best consensus we're going to get.
Okay.
That wasn't easy. Right?
2,
No.
3, 1. And now you should be able to see it again.
And that's because you guys didn't try 100%. You guys gonna change it immediately when you try.
But I did 100% on every single one except for the second one.
Oh yeah. But you say you didn't quite remember, right? You didn't quite remember.
I forgot about the whole save thing. Like that was annoying. I think I most likely just dealt with it. Was like, okay, this is what you have to do. Then that's what you have to do.
I mean, you did like straight through, like I'm gonna play the whole game. You did like that? I mean,
No. I did it in pieces. I didn't do it all in one
okay,
sitting.
okay.
Same for 3. Also, I didn't do that all in one sitting. I just built it up. I think I still have the save game actually on my memory card for 3 because I did that more recently, within the last 5 years. Whereas like the first one I did back in the day.
Yeah, I mean that's completely fine for me. I love Crash. I'm collecting it, so I really love this game. I'm happy to see DNS. No problem.
It's like one of the first. If somebody says to me PS1, the first things I think about is Crash Bandicoot and Tomb Raider. They're the first things that come to mind.
They're the masters, weren't they? Mainly, like they are the pictures you see Lara Croft and you see Crash Bandicoot. They immediately.
Yes, but
Exactly.
everyone forgets that Tomb Raider was a Saturn game.
True.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
they
read
tried to make
about
a
that.
3DO one too, and it didn't pan out.
Yeah, I read about that, and actually, the Saturn was rushed and really fixed, I believe, on PS1 stuff. So I'm collecting it. I collect the first one for Europe as well, but I mean, not sure the Saturn is the definite one. I mean, for the first release, not counting the gold stuff.
It's anyone ever seen the beta version of the first Tomb Raider where they tried to include the whole ponytail on her that like moved around, but like it's all off and it just like bugs out and like flops all over the place.
Yeah, I think.
I
Yeah.
don't think I have actually, no, but I'm going to go hunt that down
Yeah,
afterwards and have a look. But we are getting ahead of ourselves because there are Tomb Raider games coming up.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll get back to the alphabetical order. Sticking with the Crash theme, Crash Team Racing.
Oh,
No brainer for me. That's straight S.
Crash Team Racing is definitely the best kart racer available on the PS1. I don't think anyone would dispute that.
No.
Yeah, not only that, many people prefers Crash than Mario Kart. If we're going to debate that, right? If it's for debate,
that's we aren't talking about N64 here because if we start comparing PS1 to N64,
no. I mean, it's just I'm just not saying just like that. I mean, it's really important because this game, I believe, it was just released because of Mario Kart, right? If there was no Mario Kart, yeah, there was no Crash Team Racing, right, in the first place. So it's something to be on a debate, and not only that, not only that, but for some points of let's criticize some technical points or something, or everything. Some points really exceeds Mario Kart in some ways. I mean, right? If we at least my opinion, and not only that, if you go and asking people to compare it, many you have some people that actually prefer Crash Team than Mario Kart. So that's what I'm saying. How good this game was, how the impact was, and you have a single player, you have unlockable as well, and the nitro is a great mechanic. It's really easy once you get it. It's really fast paced. You really have the skill, and you have the stage and stuff. I mean, I really love this game. I think it's pretty obvious for now, but we really have to consider. It was really after Mario Kart and was not even to be considered, right? If it wasn't for Mario Kart.
Yeah, I think with Mario Kart I think I like Mario Kart so much, I refuse to play this game because of it, which is a bit of a shame because I did play it eventually and I thought, oh, it is good. But I think at the time I was just a bit of too much of a fanboy to think, oh, I'm not playing a rip-off game, which obviously it's not. It's an evolution of the game.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's what I was thinking at the time. That was my childish thinking back then of you like a game so much, someone else copies it, you go whoa, and that's just what I never played it unfortunately at the time, but that's like you're saying though, it is an evolution of the game. It's learned from Mario Kart and it's become its own game, its own right.
Yeah, and talk about Mario Kart ripoff. We have plenty of them. I
Oh,
mean,
yes.
many. I remember one for PS2, like Pac-Man Rally. It's completely horrible.
Great
Completely.
game.
I mean, and okay. Yeah, but we really have many ripoffs, and CTRs could have been something like that, and it's completely opposite. Yeah.
No, I definitely think it deserves deserves the S.
Okay. Where does it fall?
Mm.
For me personally, probably after Calling Wars, better than any Crash. For me, that's my personal.
Mm.
I enjoyed, playing this game really, really much more. I enjoyed
Would you
playing
say it's a better
Crash.
game than Crash, though? Than Crash Bandicoot, the original game?
I mean, which one's better, Crash or CTR?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had more fun with the cart. Yeah, but yeah, no, I believe maybe I'm the only one here, and that's fine. Being an S for me, it's great.
I mean, I agree with being an S because I bet the metric score is pretty high. I bet, but
I can
again,
find
I
that
can't.
out.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
And you see, I'm just looking now. This is where it does start to get that bit more difficult because first and second place at S, I've not played them. So for me,
Yeah.
it's only really between the crashes.
So, the Metacritic score. Do we want to know what the Metacritic score for CTR was?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm
80.
curious now.
88.
Oh,
And compared to the crashes,
Compared to the crashes, right. Crash Bandicoot 1, the first one, does not have a Metacritic score, but it has a game ranking score of 80. Crash Bandicoot 2 does not have a Metacritic score, but it has a game ranking score of 89.
yeah, that explains.
okay.
Crash Bandicoot 3, let me find it, has a Metacritic score of 91.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so I'm more. My personal opinion matches more the game score.
It does actually, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
So what was CTR?
88.
88, right?
Yeah,
Which-
for
which-
me personal, it would be Crash 3, CTR, Crash 2, and Crash for me. Personal.
Okay.
Well, I never played this one, but I mean, just judging by the game ranking score, even though it ranks it higher, I think, than Crash 2, or maybe like right there. Maybe we go Crash 2, Crash 3, CTR, then Crash 1.
Yeah,
I
that
thi-
would make more
I
sense
think
for me.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
So we'll do that.
Great.
Cool. Right. Now, we get on to some of the big hitters.
Here we
And this, for me, Final Fantasy VII,
Okay.
takes an
No-brainer.
immediate top spot.
No, Brennan.
And
Absolutely.
top S,
I-
top S spot. I would say, right? Definitely, yeah.
I'm gonna fess up and say I've not played it, but
Oh
obviously
man.
just by reputation alone, I can't argue.
I've not completed it, but I have played quite a lot of it so far, and I love what I played so far. And I wish I played it when I was younger. I really did. It's one of those
Yeah.
games where, like you said before, why didn't you play this game? But back then, you didn't have the money, or you didn't have the people telling you what to play, and you went off what everyone played at the time. And this one I heard through, later in life, unfortunately. But I did play. I mean, the first one I played was 10 originally, so that's how far ahead I was in the series before I even got to this game.
Okay.
I absolutely love this game. I
It
played
is.
so much of it. And actually, it's there was a time where it was set up where I would wake up. there was a PS1 controller next to me, I'd kind of like use my foot and like turn on the system and just not even out of bed and play Final Fantasy VII. Like it was like that game, like that was always in the system around the time.
Yeah, it's the same. This is a similar story for me. There was two games that was sat in my PS1 most of the time. One of them is the other one is coming up later. But Final Fantasy VII was one of them. I love this game. It is, in my opinion, flawless.
Yeah, everything about it. I mean, just the characters, their backstories, the designs, the scenery, the whole story of it all, like the plot of it. It's just all of it great. The introduction of Limit Break, and just I don't know, just so much cool stuff in it.
Yeah, for me back in the day, the language barrier, no English, was a thing. So that for many people, they just go in through the menus and tend to figure out something. Uh, so I tried to play. I rented. I pay a bit more than the usual because 3 disc. Also, Final Fantasy VIII 4 disc. No, I couldn't start it. I was lost, straight lost because of the language as well. But I started to play all the Final Fantasies from one on PSP, and I emulated the Final Fantasy VII on PSP, and I couldn't, drop the PSP. I couldn't stop playing. It's really great, and I have an issue because Final Fantasy last bosses are difficult. You need to grind something, right? You need to get your level up something. And usually Final Fantasy games, when I reach the end boss, I just see the ending on YouTube because I don't have the patience for grinding. Oh, okay, no. That's it for me. Just let me see, Sephiroth last battle on YouTube. Okay, great, that's fine. I know there's extras, harder boss and stuff. For some games, I did finish yet, but not this one. I didn't have a patience, but it's a great game, completely. But this was a straight through spoiler, right? Because everywhere you see the girl there being stabbed, so I was not shocked. People say that they were really shocked when Sephiroth, I believe Sophia, it's the character, right?
Aerith.
Yeah.
And
Aerith,
yeah,
or
Aerith,
Aerith,
sorry.
depending on
Yes.
where region.
Sorry for that. But I mean, it was everywhere, so I wish I was shocked about the story. I wish I wasn't spoiled about the story. Yeah.
That part of the game, like leading up to that point, has like the most
Yeah.
like haunting music to it.
It really does. The Forgotten
really
City. It's
It's just like ugh, like get you.
it's unnerving going into the
Very
the,
like
the, the
just
city of
something
the
terrible
ancients.
is about to happen.
Yeah, it's just with that music alone, it builds that tension until you get to the pools and the platform where Aerith is praying.
Yeah,
And you get that cutscene.
yeah. Speaking of like cutscenes and like now that you just watch it on YouTube and see what's going on. Back in the day, I actually had like this weird workaround. I didn't even realize it. I had bought an external mod chip from like an import shop in New York, like near where my cousins live. And this thing, it was called like the Game Hunter. And it plugged in like a Game Shark, but it was like a Game Shark with extra features. So you could play bootleg games with it using the lid trick.
Oh, yeah.
But also it had, all the built-in cheats. And then there was like a video player mode or like a file browser kind of mode. And
yeah.
it would literally show like the video like files, all the FMV files in there. So you could just play them whenever you wanted. Like you could just be like, oh, here's all the cutscenes in the game, and just like watch it.
Great solution. Yeah. And the summons as well, because I was back in the day a teenager and kid. I was already before internet. I was already reading a lot about games and magazine stuff. and you also see the some videos as well on TV shows. I mean, and you see the summons, right? The summons were awesome, and we had this before on 2D, but the first time see on not only the game in 3D, but the summons were awesome. Where it was that like that moment that really takes to another level the game, and it's really beautiful. And the Final Fantasy VIII just continued with that, and they just make a mechanic for the summons. I'm actually playing the remaster right now for the Final Fantasy VIII. So I mean, all the summons from Final Fantasy 7 and 8, it's really great looking to see it. Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
it's funny that you mentioned Final Fantasy VIII, because that is the very next game on the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Final Fantasy VIII for me is a game that I bounced off of hard. I struggled to get past what I saw as the sort of teen drama of it all.
You and me both, man.
I recognize that it's a good game, like the RPG elements of it, the story is good. It looks like graphically it was a huge step up from 7.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the sort of the characters themselves and their interpersonal conflict, it felt too much like a high school drama for me.
I felt the same way. The way I look at it is, Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are both Final Fantasy games. They share a lot of the good, but it's kind of like vampires are cool, Twilight is not. Kind of.
I mean, that's
how I see it.
yeah, that's a really good
Twilight
point.
of Final Fantasy.
Good analogy.
The thing that really got me about 8 that I really didn't like, and this is controversial because I know a lot of people did, was the junctioning system.
Yeah. There's a lot of critics there, but it was critically successful, right?
Yes. I believe, and this shouldn't influence our decisions in any way, I think Final Fantasy VIII has a higher score than Final Fantasy 7 does.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it is an improvement, like, on almost every level, except for perhaps character and the magic system.
Yeah, the whole the characters being rendered as adults, this attracts me more than chibi ones, right? Like Chrono Trigger, that stuff. I mean, I'm not, it's more interesting for me. I'm playing the remaster. It has like other options. You can skip. You can avoid fights. You can skip. You can skip frame rate, like advanced, because all the summons of animations. It really takes time for the animation go through you, so that helps a lot. Otherwise, it would become really boring. But I mean, your opinion, Scorsese, you guys definitely are not alone there, right? You know that. So it's definitely not. No, I would say a good A. I would say, because I'm really playing the remaster, and I'm still in the beginning. Kind of almost the end of past midway on the first disc yet. Yeah, the drama, yeah, it's really annoys me. The main character being always negative and stuff. Pretty much like school drama, that just like you said. But I really enjoy it. The system is really not great. It's really complicated, and have the cards as well, the stuff. But I would say it's definitely a great game. I would put an A. Not probably not in front of Red Alert, just behind the Red Alert, maybe.
I feel like it could be, if judged. I don't know. It's tough because if judged on like how it was, technical achievements, how well made it is, whether it's like fun to play, that, that's generally the main criteria of a game, but because it's an RPG, the story, and like character development really does matter a lot more than in other genres. So I feel like it's better made than 7, definitely, but 7 is like more engaging and kind of like, keeps you in there more. So I could see it being an S because it's a really well made game. A lot of people really do like it, even if I personally think the main character is, kind of a bit of a wuss. But I feel like it's on quality it can get up there, but I don't know. I could also see it being an A. So I'm kind of torn in two on this one.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the similar position. I'm torn between low A, maybe just before Crash Bandicoot, or no, low S, sorry, just before Crash Bandicoot, or high A, either before or after Red Alert. I am.
I would put after Red Alert, but I'm completely fine with S because I'm really enjoying this game. And the remaster, in the end, it's pretty much the PS1. There were not much love on that for remaking.
How does
Not
everyone
much
else
effort.
feel? Do we have any other opinions?
I
I've not
believe
played
everyone
the
else is.
third opinion, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of the same situation. I mean, I'm on the same scoreboard as you're saying. It's like, for me, from what I've seen, having not played it, I think it seems odd having it in A, to be honest. It seems odd having it in A,
Yeah.
so I'd probably have to decide with be just before Crash.
That's where I'm leaning.
I'm fine with that because like my reputation
me.
myself, it's again it's a good game, so it does deserve to be an S.
That's it. I'm only going by sort of what I know, though, and footage that I've seen.
All right.
If you're saying it's the same sort of level as 7, then it's the proof's there with 7 being top of the list at the moment.
Mm,
Any objections to just before Crash?
no.
Nope.
Nah, I think that's fair.
No?
Cool. That is where that lives, just before Crash Bandicoot. Now, I have a little bit of a bone to pick with the next entry, because I feel it is cheating somewhat. Because it's not one game, is it?
I'll have to look on this because I didn't play this.
It's Namco Museum, and it's like 6 or 7 games.
Who could that be?
That wasn't me. It was no. Honestly,
Who
that
was it
wasn't
you?
me. I don't think that was me.
Oh,
I did vote for Pac-Man, but not that one.
right.
Yeah. You're just backing away from it now. Now that I've called it out as potential cheating.
Yeah, I can see you're all thinking that he's voted for every Pac-Man game, hasn't he?
Who's the big Namco arcade fan? I wonder who that could be. All right.
I honestly don't think that was me. EMD, possibly? Maybe because EMD loves Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's probably either me. It's got to be either me or her, definitely.
So,
I think she had to nip offline. I seen a message about half an hour ago saying she was struggling to connect or something. But we were deep in chat. I don't know whether she's still with us at the minute.
No, I don't believe she is, unfortunately.
She can let us know.
So
we have
just for information for everybody, for reference, and we can use it as possibly a frame of reference to decide where it belongs on this list. Namco Museum Volume 1 was the nomination. It is a compilation of 7 games, all Namco arcade games from the 80s. Those 7 games are Pac-Man, Rally X, New Rally X, Galaga, Bosconian, Pole Position, and Toy Pop. Now, this is where I am going to show again my lack of arcade knowledge. There's only 2 games there in that list that I've heard of. One of them is Pac-Man, the other one is Galaga.
I knew that's what it would be.
I'm sure you heard about pole position, maybe
The
you're not remember it.
the name might be familiar, but it's
Yeah.
like I can picture Pac-Man and I can picture Gallagher, but I can't picture the rest.
They're all pretty familiar. Some might have been obscure to me, but also I recognize a lot of those words because the cars in Ridge Racer and the first one are all named after classic Namco arcade games.
Yes, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, like there's two Xevious cars, there's Bosconian, there's a Mappy, there's all that. You play Galaga or you play Galaxian to unlock the cars.
How did I not cotton onto that?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I feel like the benefit of this collection here was not just the fact that it was those games, but you kind of have to take it in the context of its time of its release. They were some of the first truly arcade perfect releases of it that came home.
Yeah.
Kind of sound and all for it. And I think it also had a collection of bonus features, special images on the discs and stuff about the behind the scenes stuff on there.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I can't remember the behind the scenes stuff. I can't bring it to mind at the moment, but I definitely played it. I definitely enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm trying to not be sort of biased because, yeah. But
I mean, there's no such thing as bias. This is all personal opinion.
yeah, I know it's not. I know it's not the most amazing game, but it's a good collection of games. They're original arcade classics. The majority of them. I certainly remember most of them. But I don't know. I think it definitely deserves. I'm going to say it deserves to be in the A section. To be honest, maybe at the end. I know it's probably going to get. I know it's probably going to get voted down. It won't be there at the end.
Well,
I was going to say B or C, but
Classic arcade games.
So I'm looking at the Wikipedia page at the moment, and you're right. This collection uses it's a 3D virtual museum that the player can walk around and interact with, which is pretty cool. Each of the included games have their own exhibit and a room themed after them. Exhibits contain a number of promotional material that can be viewed by the player, including instruction cards, arcade flyers, cabinet artwork, and the game's circuit board. This sounds like it would be a perfect VR game for you. Like you just live in VR in this Namco arcades.
Literally, you were saying it. I was getting little flashbacks, and I'm sure there is little it's a little arcade setup. I'm sure you walk around it, and it's got arcade machines and whatnot, and decorations and stuff. It's coming back to me now. Yeah.
So
I would go for B. I would go for B.
I think I think the games contained within that collection are all iconic, and for the most part, I'd only heard of maybe half of them.
Especially influential, completely influential. Yeah, but I would go for B. I would go for B. It's a compilation of arcade games. Just not. They were. When we say S and A, we say how it was developed, the technical stuff, how it is influential. We have the high scores. I mean, we don't have any of that specifically for this game. This was just a compilation. So I don't know. I'll go for B.
I agree, just because of the fact that Pac-Man and all that. These games are classics, but they're classics for different consoles. They're not pioneers. PS1. That's the only reason why I'm thinking B as well. I mean, obviously it's for PS1, but it's not a pioneer, a game that makes PS1 stand out. That was the game that you must have for this console.
Yeah, but it's not bad. So I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go for D or C.
No.
It's really just at the bottom of the B. Sorry, Chris. Sorry.
Only because
I feel like the benefit of it was just to show off that
game.
I was literally just thinking as well. I could possibly live with B, but I was sort of biting my nail. But then you said that.
Yeah.
All right.
Or bottom A. That's fine for me. No problem. I mean, we have Buster Groove there. All day. Come on.
I mean, I'm still a bit confused with this.
I think.
Sorry, go on.
I think Ryder just made a good point there. You know, if Buster Groove can go in A, then Pac-Man's
He's
got to
got a
go in
good
A.
point. I think
Come
Buster
on,
Groove should
come
come
on.
down.
I mean, I think we can make an argument for Buster Groove dropping down to B in that case.
Yeah, I would accept that. You know, just no. But removing the personal feelings, I would put on B, no problem. No, personally, yes, this is a S for me or A, but you know, overall, it's not. No, I understand it's not S or A. Buster Groove, I would put at B, no problem.
I'm looking it up at the moment, and
Actually, I put it B just because I want Nakon Mizzou B. Yeah.
so the Buster Groove, I'm happy to keep where it is because it was a near simultaneous release between arcade and PS1. It wasn't a 15 years between Pac-Man in 1980.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's just, if we were talking about Crazy Taxi as well, I would say the same. Crazy Taxi got its Dreamcast release not long after its arcade release, so that would make it stand out more than an old Outrun release on the Dreamcast, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a B for me because it's a compilation. So really, I really personally saying I can't put S or A for a compilation. I would put B. It's okay, good. That's it. Move on.
Yeah, and just because some of the games come up as well, I don't think it's going to fit in there. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
good compilation of good games, great games. That's it.
I've made the decision. It is B.
Sorry, Chris.
That personal is sounding better, you know. I can live with that. I can live with that, though.
The next one, F1 97.
Ooh.
So this, for me, is a solid D. Formula One is so dry.
Oh.
It is.
Now, this wasn't me, by the way, because I'm a huge F1 fan. This wasn't my decision, but I didn't mind this game for an F1 game, but it's not the best, not by any means. I think what I like about this game personally is not actually the driving. I think the game as a racer is terrible, but as the soundtrack and the graphics and the voiceover, because you got Mary Walker in it, is spot on. But as a game, it's not the best racing game for the PS1. Not by a long shot.
I think we have better racing games coming up.
Yes, there's much better ones. So
Yeah.
I'm same with you, DRC easily.
Okay, for me, and firstly, High Scores has just had to nip off there, so thanks very much for joining in and taking part, mate.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
It was great.
Yes, thank you.
I think with this one, I did play it, I did enjoy it, but and I do like F1, so there is that. But I think as regards the scope of racing games that are going to come up, then I think C, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whether it stays in C is another question by the end of it, but
yeah, for me, I didn't play this. I was not even aware of this, but I got a pack from Japan, really cheap games, you know, to sell them, and this was one of them I shared on the Discord. And
Yeah,
also I got, you know, I got the two Formula games and like a sequel for this one or maybe the other way around. I'm not sure. Yeah, the way I thought, you know, I played the first time, and it's fun but it's more like arcade. It's not a simulation. I mean, it's like Need for Speed. You know, it's fun to play Need for Speed, but you know, remove that simulation idea from your head, and you're gonna have fun, right?
And this is the issue, I think, that because I think a lot of F1 fans wanted simulation and they got arcade. and I didn't like it.
Yeah, but for me it's fun. It's a great game. But I really thought about keeping it, but it was not complete. Yeah, maybe not Spine Card. No, I don't remember now. But I really want to go back to these games. When I have time. But yeah, it's a Formula game, and I believe for me, I'm uh, seeing games for as much as I remember, and I understand Formula One games must be a simulation one, not arcade one. So it's
I'll
like
tell you
a
what, though.
fair, it's a fair game on this way. But on the funny side, on the fun side, I would put like probably bottom B. But as a whole Formula One game, I would put C, like fair.
Yeah, I agree with that. See,
Another point though as well. I just want to mention this because the other game isn't in that. The original one we were in for was just called Formula One, and that was based on the 1995 season. And I have fond memories of that game. I didn't put it in just because, again, it was not the best racing game, but for me, that game actually got me into F1. I mean, I was always aware of F1. I was a huge fan of like Nigel Mansell in '92, but I was only young. And then this game came along, and I remember it. This got me into F1. This was the game that why I'm a huge F1 fan today. And with '97, it was an evolution of that game, but it's still. I'd be biased at the time. Like younger me would say it was the best game ever, but as playing it again, it's not the best racing game, but
no.
it has got some memories for me. As an F1 fan, I loved it, but I wouldn't say it's the best racing game on the PS1.
Yeah, I would say you have the fun factor.
Yeah.
I found it, and if you have the fun factor, you have something done correctly, right?
Of course.
Gameplay wise, I mean, right? Graphics and sound. I mean, you've done something right there. So it will not be a D for me because I had fun, even I played very briefly. But on the other hand, it's really not a simulation game. It's very much towards an arcade. So that would be
Yeah.
like a C for me.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
See,
Okay.
it is.
I'm happy with C.
Yeah, you can have fun if you
You can
look
have
for
fun,
it.
but it's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from arcade racing games that sort of should have been simulation racing games to the purest simulation series on the platform.
No,
And we're going to talk about both of these at the same time because I think this is going to be a which is better, Gran Turismo or Gran Turismo 2.
This is this is one of my choices. The first one I put it in just because, as you said, this is the game. This is the simulation game that came along for racing games, and it just absolutely took everyone by storm. I mean, it got everything right on it. I mean, simulation wasn't something you saw a lot of games back then, especially racing games. So this one was just like, whoa, this is awesome. It's hard, but it's good. And you got all the sound effects in there. You got a great soundtrack, and it's just iconic sounds in it. I mean, everyone knows the beeps, the meh, meh, meh.
And that
That is like
sound.
yeah.
No, just stop in the right place. You have to brake at the correct place. Yeah, the correct spot. Just get your license stuff. This is the first thing comes to my mind. License and stuff, and that's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Again, don't currently have a PS1. I do have a PS2, as you probably know, and that is a PS1 game that I still physically have. So there's two. Red Alert
Go back
and Gran Turismo 1.
It's a start
Yeah,
good. You could even go to now and still enjoy it.
Definitely.
I think this is the same case as Crash. The sequel is better, is more better designed, especially in the menus and stuff. I mean, the first thing you saw, it's already very much well designed, very much more accessible, easy, I think. So I would go 2 over 1. Oh no, I think this is a no-brainer.
I'm torn. I'm actually torn though. I mean, I agree with you. I do actually think 2 is the better game, but 1 is just so iconic. It's
Mhm.
just everything about it. Like just from the little sound effects. Like even when you're in like the menu, you go to different towns that have the different the cars, and each cars has their own theme tune that you can remember when you go to it, and then you can upgrade your car, which is something was not you never did it before. We could actually individually go into every bit of change every part of the car, upgrade it, change it to turbo, even change the bodywork, change the paintwork, even buy used cars and do them up, and you can even the little details of like getting the car wash, getting the oil change, it has mileage. It's like it blew your mind. It's like you actually felt you owned a car,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
you can just go on all these races, and you have that sort of like you get through it all, you get a car at the end of it, and you go, yes, this is a car I want to keep. I'm going to sell it so I can get a better car or upgrade my own car. You know, those little things kept you going. That was just like the buzz of the game. You know,
True.
that's when you come back to it every single time, just because you wanted to get a better car or just sell it just so you can get your car even better, so you can win the next one because your car wasn't good enough to win a race or whatever. So you just want to keep spamming the lower races just to get better at the bigger races, and then when you get into like the endurance races, that's a different story altogether. I mean, I spent many hours doing endurance races where you're just going around like it's a 60-lap race, and you're like 20 laps ahead of the other cars, but you're just like, oh, I've got to keep going another hour. But that's what I just love about it, though. Even though it sounds crazy, it was so addictive.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
it
have
is a
so
difficult one.
much fun. Go on, Chris.
It's a difficult one for me because, I mean, a point we haven't even touched on here yet as well, but I'm starting to notice is I definitely agree with 2 before 1 for advancements and stuff like that. But that cover art on number 1 just stands out to me. You know, the logo, the tire in the background, the tire tread. You know, and I'm looking at the pictures in the grids that we've got so far. The only other one that really jumps out to me is Crash Ones because it's so memorable, and maybe Colin McRae Rally so far. But yeah, the tire background and everything just makes it for me. So I don't know. It is a tough decision, but like you say, I would probably decide for 2 before 1, definitely.
Yeah, I gotta say, at the time I played back in the day, but it was difficult for me. I was not into having the patience to play a simulation, right? So
Right.
I can say I know it's a good game. It's a great game, but I was not a fan. I have those. I have both on my collection. Both are great, but I'm not a fan to say, to have a saying here, because it's very clear Leon is much more a fan of it personally. So I would go for your decision, guys. If you say one is better, that's good for me. Because I'm really more like arcade. I started to play more simulations, much more later, So I was really not a fan back in the day. So I'll leave you the decision to you guys. For me, it's fine.
It's funny as well you say that because there was actually arcade mode as well in it, but it
Yeah,
still was simulation. But
yeah, not that arcade. We are used to
yeah,
like
it's a
Destruction
different kind of
Derby.
arcade. Absolutely.
I
But
was pretty much like in Twist Metal. Yeah, that was for me.
yeah, I
Definitely
mean,
different. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't want to swing this. I want to see what you think because I'm on the same page as you know. I know I seem to be pushing one more, but only because it's iconicness. But in terms of the game, I would say 2 was a better game all around because it was an evolution of the game. There was more to it. It improved bits and areas, and it's just and it still had the same little details that I liked that they took from 1 and just made it better. So I'm torn, but I'm happy to go with whatever the duration of you all think. If you all have seen 2 before 1, I'll go with that. No problem.
Yeah, I'm on that page.
I prefer leave to you because I mean you clearly said more things about. You said something about Gran Turismo that I didn't even know. I didn't remember because I didn't play that much. I was always trying to do the license first, and I got frustrated, and I just abandoned the game. I
It's a
played
shame.
on the PSP after, so I really I think you guys maybe played more and really went more deep, and no, you deserve to have a say on that.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I think when I think about it, 2 was the better game. It was, and it still had the
It
same
was.
feel. So yeah, I do think 2 before 1. That big question is where do we put it in the S? It's definitely an S, but where do we put it in S? This is another question.
Both of them an S.
Yes, definitely, easily.
Yeah.
So I'm staying out of this discussion because I, as a genre, do not like simulation racing games.
That's fair.
I much prefer arcade racing games. If you give me the choice of like, do I want to play Forza Motorsport or Forza Horizon, I will pick Forza Horizon every time. So
like I said, everyone's to tell their opinion, so that's totally fair.
Yeah, to me, I don't know. I do really like them, but I don't think I can put it. I would be happy with it in S, sorry, but I don't think I can put it before Crash.
That's fine. No, I that's fine because it's iconic in the racing world. It had to be an S, but I'm fine with it not being ahead of more iconic games. I can totally understand that because it is a racing game, which wasn't for everyone, but it was a pioneer for simulation racing games. That's why it has to be an S. But where it's in there, too first.
I personally would put after Crash Team Racing for me.
both
Okay.
of
Me
them.
personally. Both, yeah, both after. Personally speaking, I would put after CTR.
Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
For me, definitely at the end. Sorry,
Okay.
in S, but last two and one.
I'm happy to be an S. That's my so.
It's the end for me as well. No problem. It's no problem on that. I can agree with that.
So we're agreeing 2 is better than 1.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the way I'm picturing it. That as you've done it there.
Okay. Right.
Go Crash. Go Crash.
From grand to grand. GTA, the first one, the original.
S, first play.
Grand Theft Auto, the first one, is iconic, but it is basic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It is.
In terms of graphics, it's basic as hell. But in terms of the freedom of a game where you can just go and do whatever you want, kill who you want, steal whatever you want, that was quite revolutionary at the time.
Yeah, and this
Again.
is the thing. Like you've touched on it straight away there, Liam. I remember the very first time I seen it, and at the time I was still on, Nintendo, me portable Segas. I think I did have a Mega Drive still, and then I went round to my neighbour's house, and it's like he was a bit, I was more age-wise. I must have been about 16. He was a family. He had 2 kids that were a bit younger, and he had fish and that, which I used to go down and be amazed by. But then we talked about gaming, and he said, "Oh, you into gaming?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Have a look at this." And did not one come out? They did not one come out. And he had us like, "What on earth is this?" And I remember the first time I seeing it and seeing that, they were actually swearing in it. And it's just like the top-down view and what you could do. And I was just like, wow. I was amazed by it. So, as you said, definitely 100% iconic, but it was the start of something that was going to become much greater, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this was a game, like I said, the first 18 game. I shouldn't have been playing this game, but I did. And that's probably why I don't like it so much, because it was like, yes, you can kill people, it swears, you can steal cars, you can shoot people with bazookas, blow things up. It was just, that freedom of a game was, yeah. So it's just like that freedom of a game to do that back then was unheard of,
Yeah.
So
Yes, for
it's gone.
me, I have. I'm sorry, you guys want to say?
No,
go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I really have to be brief here because if I talk about Grand Theft Auto, I mean, I could go all day. I understand BNS for the impact, right? I share everyone's opinion here about how it impacts, killing people, stuff. But as a game, technical side, it really, struggles there. I really played that a lot, but I also got so much frustration, because the progression, saving stuff, right? I don't think you can save it. Maybe I don't remember if you have a password or something for the next city.
Password, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
for me, I never liked the password stuff. I really hated. But I mean, you have to reach a certain goal, right? The money, then
You
you
actually
go
yeah,
to a
spend that
payphone,
money,
and you go to the other city stuff. But I
yeah.
mean, you can, really you really can die this game so easy, and you need to restart it, and maybe get bug or you have the cops. It can be really, really, really frustrating game.
It's a hard game. It's definitely
Yeah,
a
it's really
hard
hard.
game. Definitely.
Hard game,
It's
yeah.
definitely
And
old school for its time. Definitely.
yeah, that's kind of turns me down a bit, and it will not be an S for me for that, for the difficulty, for the technical stuff. And also, not sure if you guys played the PC version. The PC version, I believe that this was developed first for the PC and ported to the PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken. Or
I think
maybe
I,
the other
I,
way around. I don't remember now.
I think you're right.
I heard
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
but if you play the PC version, I think it's been free for like 10 years or stuff. It's been free for forever on Rockstar site. If you go there, at least was some years ago, you can download the game for free. Um, the PC version is quite not much. It's really better than you have. I think especially the voices or sound stuff or the graphics, or I mean the pop-ups message stuff. Overall, it's an improvement from the PS1, or maybe the PS1 is like a downgrade version, right?
Yeah,
But I
probably.
played, yeah, I played most this on the PlayStation. The first time I saw this game was like a TV show, and it's like Cybernet. No, I think it's a UK show. If you guys know it, Cybernet,
Ye-
something like that.
Cybernet, that rings a bell.
Yeah,
Was it
I watched this show
with
on
Craig
my
Charles?
TV cable. Yeah,
With
or
Craig
Cyber or
Charles?
something. It's Cyber something. I will research after that.
Yeah, she
Uh,
seemed to come in for one.
and
It might be the one I'm
yeah,
thinking of. It might not be.
yeah, I saw this game on this UK game TV series stuff, and I was shocked. Two games I was shocked back in the day: Carmageddon and
Yeah.
GTA. But I was more shocked with Carmageddon because I was at the shopping and I saw the game, and it was in Portuguese. I mean, it was dubbed. I mean, the sound. The they sing swearing in Portuguese there, and just the image of the guy, just like Doom, but real thing
yeah.
in motion there. No, Carmageddon was a much more impact for me, but I couldn't play it.
Only
I
PC version though. The
yeah,
PS1 version was terrible.
yeah, that I got to play Carmageddon on PC, but it was like zombies and robots and stuff. And then
Yes.
you have the PS1 version. I was so excited, but it was zombies, 3D
Yes.
as zombies.
Because it couldn't have
So
both things.
yeah, and you didn't have this bullshit on the GTA stuff. GTA was there. It's not. It's like a downgrade from the PC, but it's there. So in the end, after all, I would put for me, like like maybe after Red Alert, but it's
I
not
think
as for me because it's a really hard game, progression stuff.
So
that's fair because I think when I played it, I don't think I got much further than the second city. And I think that's where I plateaued because it got stupidly hard and old very fast. That's all. In
Yeah,
that regard, I can understand what you're saying. There, it was iconic. Like Chris said before, it set it up for it later on. This is just like a taste of what was to come, basically.
and I think that
Yeah.
sums it up quite well for me because of the top-down 2D GTA games. I think this is the worst one.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
GTA 2 is
Yeah, go
better. Is better.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's technically a better game. It plays better. It runs better. Grand Theft Auto London, while yeah, it's an expansion for the first
Yeah.
for the first GTA. It has piles more character. than
Yeah.
the first game.
And this first, I think there are 2 expansions, if I'm not mistaken, for GTA 1. And they all play better on PC. And GTA 2, I'm not sure if you guys play on Dreamcast, but that game is beautiful on the Dreamcast, right? Just saying that. But yeah, for me, for the impact, it would top S. For it's and I also dream about GTA 3 before GTA 3. I was dreaming because of GTA 1 and 2. I was dreaming about a 3D game GTA, and then suddenly, we got Driver 2, and then after you got GTA 3. It's really one of the biggest game in my life, experience. But yeah, I'll definitely put S as impact. But overall technical stuff, I would put an A.
Yeah, that is fair, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards just after Red Alert. If we're happy with that.
I think before Red Alert, but I'll go with what everybody else thinks on that.
And if it was not for killing innocents and stealing cars and shooting, it would be like a beer.
Should we
Not the violence,
Should we take a vote? There's enough of us that it will split. One side will win. So I will start because I'm the first in the list. I think after Red Alert. Adam, what do you
Red Alert
think?
had much more impact and influence, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can just go, bust a groove. For me, I thank you for putting A, but you can put on the bottom, no problem. I mean, Colin McRae is a really better game, of course. No.
Okay then. All right. So that's 2 votes for after Red Alert. Any votes for before Red Alert?
Oh yeah, me.
That's 1. Any more?
So after Red Alert, you're saying?
Before. So we've got 2 for after. 1 Chris has voted for before Red Alert. So how would you vote?
Oh.
That one's you, Liam.
Right. Ooh, this is quite tough actually.
Leave it
They're
there.
both-
Leave it there. Leave it there.
Leave it there.
We need the drum roll effect here.
I think we'll leave it there. 'Cause I think we need to push on. Because
Yeah.
this is the same sort of,
Yeah.
You can go off.
it's in the right category. So let's just leave it there.
Cool. We are not even halfway through.
That's it. And I was just thinking that actually we are coming up to 2 hours almost.
We started recording about past.
Oh, was it?
I think
okay,
so.
Like an hour and a half now. Are we on or something?
Maybe about an hour and a half.
Okay, that's if we can go up to 2. I mean, some podcasts go for 2 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes, but there's no harm in doing a part 2, is there, for people to?
There is no harm in doing a part 2. We should get to at least halfway. So I would say, the first. So there was. How many games have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that 10 in the top row? There's 10 in the top row.
Yeah.
14, 16, 18. So I am happy to do 3 more games. And then
that's half, right?
And that's approximately half.
Okay.
And then we can come back at another time to do the last half.
Sure.
I will have to save where everything is labeled because if my PC reboots, I will lose this page. So I need to screenshot where we've placed everything and set it all up. But that's fine.
What I'm gonna say. I can do that as well. Actually, I'll do it now. Actually, I'll do it when we've done the final 3.
Yeah, once we've done this. So I don't remember if this was one of my nominations. It might have just missed my top 5. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of Legacy of
Oh
Kain
my
Soul Reaver.
God.
All right.
We need to talk.
What I want you
We
to
need to
do,
talk, Chris.
what I want you to do after we finish this, after we've talked about these next 3 games, I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to find the Soul Reaver intro cutscene and watch it, because it sets the tone for the game
Yes.
and the world perfectly. It is
Yeah.
cool
Definitely.
as this is a PG podcast, possibly a PG podcast, so I can't say what I wanted to say, but it is seriously cool. It is one of the best introductions to a game that I can think of. It's Crystal Dynamics developed, so they have pedigree. They would go on to helm the Tomb Raider franchise in more recent years. We won't talk about the Avengers game that they made, but
I've just been
it's
checking actually because coincidentally I had YouTube on. So the first one that's come up is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver All Story Cutscenes.
I mean, you can watch that, but I would recommend just watching the intro cutscene, and then once you've done that, you will immediately want to pick up a copy of the game and play it, because it is very, very good.
Okay, I shall watch that. Thank you.
I would love to see that and played, Blood Omen. I wish that I've played Blood Woman before I've seen the cutscene. I was just aware of Blood Woman after,
Yeah,
But imagine if you play Blood Woman and seen the cutscene. I think for fans are 10 times,
yeah, absolutely. You will get so
blown
much
away.
more out of it if you play Blood Omen.
Yeah.
But I think Soul Reaver stands on its own well enough. For me personally, this is an easy S, and this is an easy top 4 S right now.
Huh?
Yeah, I agree. But personally, I remember this game. I played a lot. I was loving it, but I got lost, and
Oh
I was
yes,
so frustrated.
yes. It's not an easy game.
No, definitely not. You have all the changing the words from spiritual to material, something like that, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember. And it's really stressful. Tomb Raider level stress. You're
yes,
kind of lost. You really
yeah. There's a
don't have a clue where
lot
to
of
go.
agreed. There's a lot of backtracking. There's a lot of trying
Yeah,
to find out where you're going, but the world
but
that you're exploring, it just
yeah,
it
it's
is.
unique.
It's very unique. It oozes atmosphere. The storytelling is excellent. It's one of the first games that I can remember, and another one is coming up in a moment, that took its voice acting seriously. Because voice acting was obviously relatively new for at the time.
Yeah,
Talk
true.
about Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, Resident Evil but Resident Evil's voice acting, and we can talk about that next in the next podcast, because all 3 PS1 Resident Evil games are on this list.
Yeah.
So it's like the voice actors took it seriously. They didn't just phone in their lines. The acting is really good for a that era. Obviously, like, there's better voice acting now, but that's because it's taken more seriously within the games industry. And when you've got like performances from Chris Judge in God of War and God of War Ragnarok, and Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker in The Last of Us and things like that, obviously they are better performances than what we got in the mid to late 90s. But for the mid to late 90s, this was Last of Us level voice acting.
Yeah. Imagine the challenge of developing this game back in the day with technical, roadblocks and stuff, limitations, right? It's definitely deserves an S, of course.
Shame I've not got any input. I've seen the cutscene. I know of this game. Had a bit of it, but I've not played it as much as I should have done, and not the time. But I can definitely tell you're passionate about it. You sound like me about Metal Gear Solid about this game, and it's definitely got that. It's definitely already. I want to play it now because you piqued my interest just straight away with the game. The voice acting straight away, because that is me all over. A game with a really good story, serious proper acting in it, with a really good serious tone to it. If you've got me, it's just take my money now sort of thing. It's straight away. Which I had more inputs to put on this game.
I would say play Blood Woman first. I tried, but it's really good game. It's an excellent game, Blood Woman as well. But it's really long game. It's like at least 100 hours, stuff like that. So probably better skip Blood Woman and go straight to Soul River. Yeah, and if you really fell in love, you can try Blood Woman, the previous one. It's a really great game, but you really demanding time. If you're really not prepared to spend a lot of time, over 100 hours.
Which I don't have that at the moment in time.
It's a different style of game as well.
Yeah, as well.
So,
but it's a great game.
Yeah. Blood Omen is like a top-down 2D action adventure RPG style game, whereas Soul Reaver is a third-person action game.
Definitely S.
Definitely, yeah. I think we're in agreement. It's S. I would put this before all of the Crash Bandicoots. Personally, I'm even tempted to put it before Colony Wars.
Yeah. By popularity, Crash would win over, but
yes, but we're not talking about.
If we talk about everything else, it's clearly a really top game design, top game developed, high quality story development, script, sounds, design, everything. It's really, in another level from Crash.
I'm putting it there.
Great.
Where's it going?
It's going after Castlevania, but before Colony Wars.
Okay, I was still listening, by the way, but I was watching the preview, and I'm in agreement. What year was this released?
Let me find out.
Probably 98.
I was
99.
Yeah.
Those graphics are impressive.
So
this was on the Dreamcast as well.
It did get a Dreamcast release. So if you can play the Dreamcast version,
or PC
that
well,
might be the better. Yeah. So it was released on PlayStation and Windows in 1999, and Dreamcast in 2000.
Yeah.
It was directed and written by Amy Hennig, who, if you have played the Uncharted games, she also wrote those. So if that gives you any level of any sort of idea about its pedigree in terms of writing.
I'm just remember now that the option that you suck the souls, right? You just get your hit there. No, I just remember this now. Yeah, it's a really great game.
It's a really great game. Amy Hennig is also known for the Uncharted series and the Jak and Daxter series. So
yeah,
I don't want to oversell this game, but if you come back when we do part 2 and have played this to completion, I would not be surprised.
I really wanted to play Blood Woman to the end, but yeah, I just stopped playing that. But I might as well just go through Soul River. Yeah.
Okay, that does look good.
Cool. So, second to last game for this session. Mega Man X5. I have never put any significant amount of time into a Mega Man game. So I can't really speak to this.
Yeah, I think this was probably one of mine.
Yeah.
It was one of yours, Ryder, right?
No, I was gonna say, I totally forgot about, but I should have put X4. X4 is probably one of the maybe top 3 or top 5 games I play on the PlayStation 1. I really, really love that game. Played to the end. Played with Mega Man Zero. X5 though, I played, and it's really, in my opinion, personal opinion, fair compared to X4. Really, maybe easier stuff. I mean, I didn't have the same feeling as X4. Definitely not. X4 was the first PlayStation title for, Mega Man title for PlayStation, right? So the impact was huge. X5, on the other hand, not quite for me personally. I would, but it's a good game. I love Mega Man. So, it's not great for me. It's not great. I don't have, but I would be happy with A. I would put like B, maybe B, but I would be happy with A. Maybe in the bottom personally. But if it was X4, really, I couldn't agree with other than S. X4 for me, it's a really great game. But X5, it could be like A.
Yeah, I think just after Colin McRae, because I quite like Mega Man. I think that's well known. I did have a few back in the day, but I've got a few of them on the Evercade consoles now.
Great.
Any
How
more
would you
info?
grade?
Sorry.
Chris, how would you grade X5?
Me?
Yeah.
After Colin McRae.
Okay, that's a fine for me. I love Mega Man.
All right.
I love playing with Mega Man and Zero. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am happy with that, mostly because it fills out the A section a little bit more.
Yeah,
True.
great.
We've got a lot of S tier games, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing because there were a lot of seriously good games on the PS1.
Yeah,
All right, after Colin McRae, that's where
that's
that
great.
lives. Cool.
Next one.
Next
It's gonna be
one.
very quick.
Now, I don't think anyone is going to dispute that this is an S tier game.
But Chris didn't play it.
Yeah, I don't
That's the
comment.
biggest show.
I'll leave that one to you guys because I know sort of definitely if there's voices of experience, I'm among them.
Let me.
Well, it's like the position, right?
Yes. So, I'm torn on this one. Because I love Metal Gear Solid. I like. But do I love it more than Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, I really cannot.
And
I can't not be biased on this.
Yeah.
It's really straight for me. Straight to the top for me personally.
Yeah, I'm the same, unfortunately. Only because
there's don't say unfortunately, because for me, like I say, I can't decide. It's easily one of the top 2 games, but whether it is that we've spoken about so far, let me preface that.
What I mean is because you've played both. I've not completed Final Fantasy VII. I'm gonna be biased again. This game. This is the game for me. Like you said about Soul Reaver. This
I mean,
blew.
yeah.
This for me was just like the game for cutscenes and story. It's like you're playing a movie, which
So-
when we did the podcast about this is
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
I agree entirely with that. I think so. When I was talking about Soul Reaver, and I was talking about like 1 or 2 games at the time that really took voice acting seriously, Metal Gear Solid was the other game I was talking about.
Yeah.
I need to.
There's some dodgy dialogue.
Oh,
Cam,
yeah.
Cam Clark he's having the best time overacting as Liquid Snake.
Oh,
He just chews the scenery in like every scene he's in.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I love it. I love it. Love like this, like writing off some of his quotes. Like I love the towards the end where he's going like, "Do you have any idea what it means to be garbage since the day you were born?" And everything's just like, it's just brilliant. I could just read words over and over and over again.
It's so
Even
good.
like the way he says "die," he goes, "Don't you just stand there and watch him die?" He pop up. It's just yeah. You spot on that. What you said that about that.
The game over. Snake. That's it.
Yeah,
That was enough, man. It's great.
That's so chilling, even to this day, when you hear that.
Yeah.
Do steak.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's
And then
so
in Japanese, it's Suneko. Suneko.
like,
It's
oh,
funny.
I think
Can I
Metal
say
Gear
something? Can
Yeah.
I say something, Chris?
Yeah.
If you agree. Let's just say it's a tie between Final Fantasy and Metal Gear, and you are going to be so cool with us that you're going to put, Metal Gear in first place.
All right.
But we cannot agree
No.
it's a tie.
No, I disagree, and here's why. Because there can be only one winner, right?
Okay.
There can be only one. This is a Highlander scenario.
I was just gonna say that. You beat me to it.
Only one. Yeah.
It can be only one.
So
I watched the Highlanders. It was shit.
it's the thing is for me, right?
Okay.
Whether I prefer Final Fantasy VII or Metal Gear Solid depends on which I have played most recently. Because both of them just blow me away. I happen to have played Metal Gear Solid this year. But
For
I
the
haven't-
challenge, right?
No, I streamed it earlier in the year. I did Metal Gear May on my Twitch channel, where I just played through Metal Gear Solid.
Great.
But I haven't done Final Fantasy VII in about 2 years since the re-release came out on Xbox. I am happy to put Metal Gear Solid in the top spot. I think it is deserving of it, and I think so. When we got the nominations, when we put the nominations in, there were 6 games that had multiple votes. Metal Gear Solid had 7. It was the highest nominated game of the whole lot. 12 people nominated games. More than 50% of them included Metal Gear Solid.
Great.
I think for that reason alone, it has to take the top spot. For the moment, we still have 20 plus games to talk about.
Also, you mentioned voice acting. So Final Fantasy VII, no voice acting, so no brainer, right?
I mean, if you put voice acting into Final Fantasy VII, it would come on 16 discs.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure.
All right, Metal Gear Solid has taken the top spot,
Great.
Hey.
which I think I agree with. And looking at what's to come, there are games that I have more of an attachment to,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to call it early, but I don't see many in the upcoming list that could topple it. There is maybe one for me
Yeah, I agree.
that I would say is better. But, and here is the tag to get people to join in for the next session. You're going to find that out next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I must say, I mean, it's really looking interesting. It really is. And before we finish off, just thank you to everybody for joining. It's been really good. Quite looking forward to what the end spot's going to be. And sorry to anybody that sort of got cut off or couldn't connect. Obviously, we are going to try and get this out to YouTube as soon as we can. But I think obviously you want to check things over your side, Chris. I know we want to do an intro and outro. So
yes, I will try and get this up on, or at least on the share, so that it can be uploaded tomorrow. It's quite late. It's quite late now. I will spend some time with it tomorrow. That being Sunday for anyone who is actually anyone who's watching it on YouTube will know that it's up. So why am I even saying the day? Yeah.
What we'll obviously have to do is you upload it to the Google Drive. We can tweak it a bit with the intro and outro, link that in, and then maybe if somebody sends it back there, I can upload it to the Instagram.
Yeah.
And well, not Instagram. Upload a preview to the Instagram, and then obviously the full thing to YouTube.
Yes. Absolutely. I will start getting this uploaded basically immediately. It might take a little while because I anticipate this video being several gigs in size.
Yeah, well, we said we knew it would take a while, but we weren't kidding, were we?
No, we were not. So how many games have we done? We had 43 individual games to begin with. We've done 1, 2, 3. There's 12 in the S tier alone. 17, 19, 21. We've done 21 of 43, so there's 22 games left.
See, I'm wondering how bloated that S section is going to remain. Is it going to look like that at the end or not?
I think there's maybe half a dozen games that will end up in the S section. Looking at what's there.
It's like you said, though, there was so many good ones.
Yes. Yes, there definitely was.
When would we, just to give people, sort of a rough idea, when would we think of part 2? Should we give it a while to give feedback on number 1, or I don't know, maybe do it quite soon?
So the next time available is next weekend.
Oh, there we go. That's
fair.
Yeah,
I would suggest same time next week for part 2.
Yeah, okay.
If that's doable.
I'm just trying to think now. Let me just quickly figure my shift out.
It's not Halloween. It's still not Halloween, right? It's gonna be 28th. So yeah, it's good. Great.
Okay, yeah. So I will be off. I got one more day shift tomorrow, and then I'm on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. So yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. So yeah, that's definitely doable.
Awesome. So, for anyone listening to part 1 and would like to take part in part 2, tentatively scheduled for 8 p.m. UK time on October 28th, did we say it was?
Yes.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Cool. This is where we plug the group. If you are not a member of the Retroslice Gaming Discord channel and would like to be and would like to take part, you can reach out to any of us on this podcast this evening. On Instagram, we can be found at Retroslice Gaming, or any of our personal accounts at Retro Game Den, at Retro Throwback. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
At Retronuts UK and at Retroider Gaming. Please feel free.
Retroider.
It's just Retroider. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
If you wish to take part, then yeah, the more the merrier.
obviously, we do other stuff as well. We've got the Discord. We're trying to build up an Instagram presence, and we do other podcasts, should we say, and do quite a few game challenges as well. We've got some interesting focus coming up over the next few months as well. So we are an expanding community, as you've probably realised. So definitely get involved. If you want to join us, just let us know. And again, thank you for everybody that joined in. It's been very interesting so far.
Thank you to everyone who jumped on the call and joined the discussion. Thanks to everyone who nominated games. As I think I've mentioned, the nominations were anonymous, so I don't know who you are to thank you individually, but you do. So thank you.